So here we are on our main stage with our main set. And really there are three different distinct areas to our set. We have the outside of the castle, we have the inside of the castle, and we have a castle courtyard. Let's talk about the interior room of the castle. This is like the king's court here in the castle. And all of our inside the castle scenes take place here. So we've painted a lot of cardboard to look very royal, very regal, using a lot of red paint, using a lot of purples. And we have pillars painted and banners and torches and all of that going on here, because this is basically like the throne room. We painted a very large stained glass window to go in the front, and we've layered all of this up. We've actually created a little bit of a canopy to add some dimension. Those are just a piece of cardboard with a simple wooden frame on the backside to just make it stand out from the wall a little bit. Over here, we've created a lot of these like fire candle pots. We have some that are about, a couple feet high. We have some this big, and we have some that are even bigger, where we've painted using gray paint at the bottom, and then coming over top of it using like sponging or a feather dusting technique, where you put some black and white paint on it as well to give it that metal look. And then our flames, of course, are a separate piece of cardboard that all get attached on one of our wooden legs, and then they stand up all on their own, and we can move them around to wherever we want. These flames are painted separately and just attached to the material there. We screw everything on rather than using nails or staples or anything like that to make it easier to come apart. And then we have a simple table here. Some of the drama does take place at a table, so you can use just a regular table and a tablecloth and some castle decorations. So you'll see as you come into the big castle, of course we have to have a moat around the castle, and we have painted up some water and some animals and some other things like that to just as the kids walk down the aisle and they see this, we see the moat is going on down there. And of course we love crocodiles in our moats, so we have a few crocodiles. Other things that we put on our stage are these very short like castle topper pieces, and these are great to kind of hide things like cords and cables and notes and stuff like that on our stage front. We can move those around as we need to. And then we have the exterior of our castle. We did that same double roller painting technique using yellow, different shades of yellow to create this very grand, bright castle. We didn't want to go with a typical gray castle because this is VBS. We love color. We love bright and exciting. And we layer everything up by just adding flowers, and we added these topiary trees and birds. And we actually build some of these things a few inches off of the wall by putting boards behind them. So you'll see that maybe behind that topiary there's just a 2x4 against the wall, which just pops it out from the wall a little bit in order to add some dimension as well. We put some fake windows up here. We added some dimension with that. We do not use that window. There is nothing behind that window except for a wall, but it does just add a little bit more dimension to the castle so that not everything is completely flat. If you look all the way up to the top of the castle, we've added turrets. We added a large torch. We've added some flags, some very regal flowing flags that our painting crew has made to the top of the different turrets on the top of the different towers. And then we created this very three-dimensional like bay window, we call it. It's just made out of cardboard with a little bit of a wooden frame. We use just wood up in there that's screwed to the walls, and then some cardboard flags hanging down. So you can see it really doesn't have a function other than to add some dimension to it. And then we have, of course, our war horse, our very regal war horse here, painted by our volunteers on cardboard as well, standing in front of this little pop of color, little hill here. We screw everything together on more of those legs. And so this is just an amazing and fun way to have the outside of a castle. You may not build something this big or this dimensional, but you can take some of these ideas and come up with something that suits your church. Here we are in the courtyard of our main set on the main stage, and our courtyard is just designed to be an exterior room outside of the castle where some of our drama takes place. And so we've just done this gray with the scrolls. We also have an awning hanging off it, some more of the trees and candelabras, as well as flowers and rocks and things like that. But we've also added a dragon's chamber. So we bought some wood lattice from the hardware store, and we painted that black. And this does have an opening door because you can actually go inside the dragon's chamber. And inside there, we also have some lighting effects and some fog effects so that we have a fire-breathing dragon who lives inside of this lair. And we have some sound effects and fun things like that the kids really enjoy when we do the drama to involve a little bit of a dragon in all of that. And of course, we're learning about being strong in the Lord, so we want to emphasize our key verse. So in the back of the room, as the kids are exiting the worship center, they're always reminded of our theme verse for the week, Ephesians 6:10, be strong in the Lord. So we're backstage right now because I wanted to show you how we build the majority of our set pieces. We do some of this out in the hallways, but it really comes to life here on our main stage. We build what are called stage flats. A stage flat is a frame of 2x3 right here with a 4x8 sheet of thin Luan plywood on it. We have lots of different sizes of these. We have a lot of 4x8 ones. Some are 2 foot by 8 foot. Some are more square, 4 foot by 4 foot, all different shapes and sizes. We reuse these every year. We store them in our garage and then bring them out every year for VBS. Another thing we build is a lot of these long legs. We use these everywhere. We call these stage jacks. They're a 2x4 with a foot at the bottom. As you can tell, we are in the middle of VBS right now. So we've got candy and props and everything all over the place. But if you'll see, I'm standing on a large sheet of 3/4 inch plywood. By laying the plywood down on the floor, it gives us something to screw this leg to. So we have the wall built. The wall gets the cardboard placed on it. It's like putting up big sheets of plywood. This leg is screwed to the wall, and then this leg is also screwed to this sheet of plywood. We can put a bunch of weight on this plywood so that we do not get tipped over and our larger walls can stand up. We are on a concrete floor, so of course we can't screw down to the floor. But if we put this large weight on the backside, it keeps this whole tall thing, because it is over 22 feet tall to our ceiling. And we have all of this stacked up. It keeps everything from falling over, and it's nice and safe and strongly built. It took us about 3 days of volunteers coming in the evening after work in order to put this whole set together. But if you have all the right materials, you'll be surprised how quickly it can come together.